Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael, and today I'm going to be doing basically 3 videos in one. So as you probably know, last Saturday I went to a horror convention in Atlanta that was called Days of the Dead, and it was pretty fun. It was the first convention I had been to since early 2019, so it was really great to get back out there. Everybody wore a mask until we got to take pictures, and then we were allowed to take off our masks, so that was pretty cool. It was such a long day. It turned out to be a 12-hour trip. I left a little after 8 a.m. It took about 4 hours to get there, and then I was there for 4 hours, and then another 4 hours home, so it was such a long day, but I'm so glad I went. I ran into a friend down there. It was great to hang out with him for a little bit. I ended up getting some pictures made, bought a few little souvenirs, and I want to show you because we all love horror things, right? So first I'll put up some pictures here or here somewhere. I met Dee Wallace, who is the mother in Cujo, as you probably know, and I got this poster from her and she signed it. So Cujo poster, which is pretty awesome, and she signed it to Michael, Bite Me, Dee Wallace. So that was pretty awesome. She was really cool. So then I met Amy Steele, who played Jenny in Friday the 13th Part 2, which was awesome. Friday the 13th out of the big 3 was always like my 3rd favorite growing up, but I tend to collect more Jason stuff than any of them. I actually bought this poster, which was badass. I didn't even catch the artist's name. That's so bad of me, but he had so many great photos, great paintings, I should say, from Aliens, Jason, just different ones. But yeah. Such a good picture. So I also did 2 photo ops. The first one, I was confession time. I actually signed up to get a photo op with Amy Steele and Adrienne King, who played Alice in Part 1 and Part 2. But by the time I got up to the front of the line and got into the room, I realized, oh, they're still doing the Friday the 13th Part 2 cast photo, and I thought, well, I'm already up here, so I'm just gonna do it. Whoops. But here's the picture of that. It was really fun. You got Adrienne there, Jenny up here, and all the other cast members, and you're supposed to look like Jason's mom there in the table, which was funny. So yeah, there's that. And then the kicker was I got a photo op with Tony Todd dressed as Candyman and Kane Hodder dressed as Jason from Friday the 13th Part 8. And that was a pretty cool picture too. Pretty badass. It was very intimidating walking up there. And then Tony Todd in his deep voice was like, "Stand on the T." And I was like, okay. And then Kane Hodder grips my shoulder real tight. I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, pretty badass, I thought. All in all, it was a fun trip. I really wanted to go to Horror Hounds in Cincinnati. I think it's next weekend, but I'm thinking I probably will skip that one, unfortunately. I really wanted to go to that because Robert Englund is going to be there, who played Freddy, and Lisa Wilcox, who was Alice in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 and 5, as well as Danielle Harris, who played Jamie in Halloween 4 and 5, and also Annie in Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2. But I spent so much money in Atlanta, I think I'm just going to have to skip this one. That was my experience at Days of the Dead in Atlanta. I didn't get any video footage because the vendors was like half capacity, I guess. I ended up getting a couple of books, and now we're going to get into the mini book haul, which is only 5. I actually wasn't planning on doing this, but I went to Target today and there are a lot of books there that I wanted to get. And I got 3, and once you see what they are, you will know why. So at Target today, I got 3 classic reprintings with badass covers. And the first one's gonna be Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, the cover is phenomenal. I tried to get these 20% off Target stickers off there, but as I was peeling it, it was gonna leave sticky residue. I really wish they would not put stickers on books. Drives me insane. But yes, look at that. Isn't that not awesome? And in the back, you know. We all know what this is, so I'm not even gonna get into that, but yes, Dracula. And then we have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I mean, how awesome is that? Yes. So, Frankenstein. And then the third one I got at Target today was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I mean, these, I couldn't pass them up. And I wanted to show you guys in case you wanted to get these too, because these were the last copies of all 3. And I was like, I'm gonna have to get those. So, I mean, pretty badass if you ask me. I think I already had these 2, but I couldn't pass up the covers. You better go to Target, you better hurry. So at the convention, I got to meet a self-published author named J.H. Glaze, and he had several of his books out there, and 2 of them, the covers caught my eye, and I was like, okay, I don't even care what they're about. I'm going to get them. And as soon as I show you, you'll probably understand why. The first one is going to be Night of the Living Inflatable Dolls. Oh gosh. This is a different take of like Night of the Living Dead, where there's a toxic chemical spill and it gets all over these inflatable sex toys and they come to life. I mean, that's all I'm going to say about it. It's going to be, both of these are probably going to be super bad, but in a cheesy good way. I'm not expecting a lot, but I mean, come on. Killer inflatable dolls. Oh yeah. And the other one by him I got was Monday Survival Guide. And look at that cover. That's so awesome. I'm a sucker for good covers. So yeah. This one is about an alien invasion. Pretty much. We'll just go with that. So, yes. I'm just out for a good time with these 2, and both the covers were like, hell yeah, sign me up please. So let's get on to my August wrap up. If you watched my August TBR, you know that I had only 4 books on there. Well, I got through 3 of them and started the 4th. Unfortunately, I didn't get to finish it, but I'll get to that one when I get to the September TBR. As we do around here, I like to rank them in the order that I enjoyed them the least to the most. So, coming in at 3rd place is going to be The Return by Rachel Harrison. A lot of people don't like this book, and I can understand why. I'm not going to say it was badly written. It was a simple read. Let's just say that. I think this would be a good book for somebody that's transitioning from young adult to adult. It's fairly easy to get through. It's about a girl, Julie, who went missing. And it starts out with our main character named Elise saying, "What do you mean she's missing? What? She's not dead. Don't even talk like that. She's coming back. They'll find her. She'll be alright." So 2 years after she went missing, Julie reappears, and Elise is overjoyed, of course. So she and their other 2 best friends, Molly and May, yes, decide to have a girls' retreat to reconnect with their friend who she's just not herself. So they end up going to this hotel in the middle of nowhere, as you do, to reconnect. What really annoyed me about this book, they're all talking and it's very dialogue heavy in some parts, which is fun. But at the end of it, whenever they're going off into their separate rooms for the evening, they're like, love you, I love you, love you too, oh, I love you so much. Oh my god, it was annoying. But I will say the ending was pretty good. I'm not going to get into what happened, but Julie definitely is different. She was a vegetarian, but now she craves raw meat. And her teeth start falling out, and she doesn't seem very concerned about it, but her friends are like, oh my god, did you just see that? But another thing that annoyed me was, like, during the whole book, Molly, who is like this tell it like it is, no filter kind of girl, she wants to ask Julie point blank what happened. Where have you been? May and Elise are like, no, we need to give her time. If we confront her now, she just will not open up. Not confronting Julie, not asking her anything. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a bad book. I definitely want to check out her new one that's coming out called Cackle. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. It was okay. So, The Return. So, coming in second place would be The Nesting by C.J. Cook. This was really well written. I was intrigued the whole time. I didn't get bored per se, but not a lot of exciting things happen. Speaking of, I'm really tired of seeing books that have little blurbs from different authors, you know, praising how great the book is and how scary it is. This one says a taut, scary thriller. This one will definitely keep you up at night. It was not scary. Okay, granted, I'm a hard one to please. I don't get scared by reading books. As long as I'm entertained, then, you know, it's going to be a good book. It's going to be a good time. But I'm so tired of saying, oh, it's one of the best thrillers of the year. It's so haunting and creepy and scary. No, bitch, it was not. But this is a story about a girl named Lexi Ellis. And it starts off with her friend Meg finding her in the bathroom after attempting suicide. Poor Lexi, you know, she recovers and her boyfriend that she lives with breaks up with her and kicks her out. So she has no place to go. So she ends up at this women's shelter. Shortly afterwards, she finds out that her best friend Meg is moving in with her now ex-boyfriend, and they're gonna start a relationship, blah, blah, blah. And Lexi's like, okay, well, can I get my stuff? So, she is on like a train going somewhere she doesn't even really know where she's gonna go. So she ends up overhearing a conversation between this girl and her best friend who are sitting in front of her about this job opportunity in Norway, babysitting or becoming a nanny, I guess, for this high-tech architect. She overhears the best friend telling the girl Sophie, who is going to apply for the job, not to do it because she's pregnant and she needs her best friend there to help her. Don't go. I'm preggers. You gotta help me. So she's like, okay, well, I won't apply. Well, Lexi, as soon as the girls go off to get drinks or whatever, or, well, I don't know if the pregnant girls get a drink, but they vacate the area. And Lexi gets on the computer and takes screenshots of Sophie's resume and applies for this job as Sophie with no experience. Well, she ends up getting the job. Well, it's told in two different timelines. there's Lexi's story in the present, and then in the past is Ariella's story. And they both see this sad lady ghost type of apparition. She's always drenched, and she's always kind of hovering, and her eyes are hollowed out. It wasn't boring. The ending was kind of like, okay, really? I don't know if that really would happen, but whatever. But yeah, the nesting, it was okay. Came in second place. So that means my number one read for August was The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. So this is a book about 4 Indian friends who 10 years prior, they went against tradition and the elders, and they went hunting in an area where they were not allowed to go. And they ended up killing a bunch of elk. Half of the book is about one of the guys, whose name is Lewis. Just things start happening. He starts seeing other things, and there's a few boo moments in here about, oh my god, I cannot believe I can't believe that just happened. By the end of it, I thought it was a little long. It was a little drawn out, and it was a little confusing in parts, but I thought it was a pretty good read. It was definitely a lot better than Night of the Mannequins, because I didn't get what I wanted out of that one, and I got pretty much what I expected out of this one. So Stephen Graham Jones, The Only Good Indians, I'd recommend it. Okay, so that was my August wrap up. 3 whole books. But you know, I don't read fast around here. However, that being said, it's time to get into my September TBR, in which I have like 6 or 7 books. Getting a little ambitious over here, I guess. So the first book I am already in process of reading is one that was on my August TBR. That is The Chill by Scott Carson. I am about 160 pages in, and I am really enjoying this one. Like, this out of all 4 is my favorite, and I'm only that much into it. It's so good. Like, I didn't have high hopes for this, but oh my gosh, it is so intriguing. Like, it's a page turner for me, and that's very rare. So several decades ago, a small town called Galesburg was wiped out to build a dam to create a reservoir for New York City. There are other reservoirs that were built for the same purpose, and therefore the Chilliwackee, or the Chill is what they call this reservoir, hasn't even been tapped yet. But they are building another tunnel underground Manhattan, I think, to access the water in the Chill Reservation. So that's one part of the story. The other part is taking place in and around the Catskill Mountains, where the Chill is. So far, it's about this kid. Well, he's like 23, I think. He got kicked out of the Navy. He's into the drugs and the drinking, and he was arrested, and of course his father is the sheriff, and it's so good. I don't even know, I don't want to explain everything that I've read so far, but at one point, after all that happened, and his dad gets him out of jail, and his dad's like, you're going to rehab or you're going to get out. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. It's a really good story so far, and I cannot wait to finish it. So, The Chill. So the next book I plan on reading in September is The Girl in the Video by Michael David Wilson. Now this is a very short one. It says, after a teacher receives a weirdly arousing video, his life descends into paranoia and obsession. More videos follow, each containing information no stranger could possibly know. But who's sending them, and what do they want? The answers may destroy everything and everyone he loves. So, it's like, it says, the girl in the video is The Ring meets Fatal Attraction. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Next we have The House on Abigail Lane by Keelan Patrick Burke. Now, this is a story about an ordinary American home, seemingly, but since its construction in 1956, people have vanished as soon as they go upstairs. The only clues, the things they leave behind: a wedding ring, a phone, an eye. In its 60-year history, a record number of strange events have been attributed to the house, from the neighbors waking up to find themselves standing in the yard outside, to the grieving man who vanished before a police officer's eyes, the animals gathering in the yard as if summoned, the people who speak in reverse, the lights and sounds, the music, the grass dying overnight, and the 10-foot clown on the second floor. This is supposed to be the most comprehensive account of the Abigail House phenomenon, the result of 60 years of eyewitness accounts, news reports, scientific research, and parapsychological investigations. So I guess it's an epistolary story, which is cool. A 10-foot clown? Oh, Lord. So another short one. Can't wait to see what that's all about. So the next one I plan to read is The Boatman's Daughter by Andy Davidson. And this is a story about a girl who, since her father was killed, she just keeps her head down and her eyes up. And she works for this mad preacher, carrying contraband to make ends meet, and she is trying to protect an old witch and a mysterious child. But dark forces, both human and supernatural, are at work in the bayou, conspiring to disrupt the rhythms of Miranda's peculiar and precarious life. When the preacher makes an unthinkable demand, it sets Miranda on a desperate, dangerous path, forcing her to consider what she will sacrifice to keep her loved ones safe. The Boatman's Daughter. Next up is Touch the Night by Max Booth III. Now this is a story about two, I think 12-year-olds, African-American children who, after a night of petty crime, they come across a cop who is not exactly human and they end up disappearing. And then it's up to the mothers of these guys to find out what's happened, since the sheriff doesn't seem very interested, and they are on a collision course with a family of lunatics. And there's some kind of ritual that's going to happen. Will the mothers find their children before it's too late? I don't know. Touch the Night. So next up we have Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. Now, this is a book about a girl who, the only family she has is her mother. And her mother doesn't tell her anything about their past, where they came from, if they have any other family members, until one day she receives a photograph that points her in the direction of the town in which she was born. But once she gets there, she finds out some stuff, like a girl is pulled from a burning building that looks exactly like her. And that's about all I know. She doesn't know if her mother was keeping this a secret to protect her, or what the hell's going on, but yeah, love the cover of that one. Burn Our Bodies Down. And I think to wrap up September, I'm going to read those two J.H. Glaze books, the inflatable, not of the inflatable killer dolls, and the Monday Survival Guide. Those look really fun. They're really short, so I think that's about 7. I doubt I'll get through all of these, but I'm gonna try. Yes, so that was a lot. And if you stuck around this far, I want you to know that I really appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Come back next time, and I need to go get some water. So until next time, keep turning those pages. Bye.